Hi everyone, it's Mari here for the Paper and Ink Boutique. I'm bringing you some more inspiration today using some really fun products from a collaboration between Sizzix and 49 and Market. I'm going to be creating this card for you today, and this is really fun, super easy mixed media in a combination with some gorgeous stamps and die cuts. So this is what the finished card is going to look like when we're all done today. And I'm going to be just mashing up all of these different products today and just having a lot of fun to create this really beautiful, kind of clean and simple card, but there are quite a few details to it too. So this die set that I'm using is called Fine Stems. It is an absolutely amazing die set. I believe there's 9 dies in total in this set. This is one of those die sets that you will reach for over and over and over again, whether you're card making, scrapbooking, whatever. There's a coordinating stamp, so you can see here how this looks when it's stamped and die cut, and I added a few little techniques to that particular piece there as well. You can also just use these as die cuts using color cardstock or white cardstock, or you could even take your ink blending tool and ink blend these rather than using the coordinating stamp. So this is the die set again. This is called Fine Stems 1. I'm wondering, since it's one numbered, if maybe they're going to be coming out with more of these. I would love it if they did. And so this is a coordinating stamp set that you can see here, and how those stamps will just overlay over top, or you can stamp them and then die cut them. This is another stamp set. This one is called Build a Burst Painterly. Actually, this one is called Build a Burst Artsy. This is the Artsy lace mix, and this is the one that I'm going to be using for the project today. And you can see that there's coordinating dies that come with this set. So we've got all of these different stamps and then the dies that cut out these wedges, which is fantastic. And there's a really great combination of patterns and text. This is the second set. This one is called Build a Burst Painterly. This is slightly different shape. So these are a little bit wider and shorter. And you can see that the patterns on them are different as well. So they range from floral to just really kind of grungy looking etchings and blobs. And there's a coordinating die set as well. So love these. That one is called Build a Burst Painterly. So now we're going to start the process here. I'm going to take some Speckled Egg Distress Oxide ink and a piece of white cardstock that I have trimmed out or die cut with a stacking stitched rectangle die. I think this one is from Prism Studio. Julia, Will, and Glenn will be able to, or Brianna, anyone from the store will be able to direct you to what they have for stacked stitched rectangle dies. I just picked up that watered down pigment with a little bit of plastic packaging and then just put it onto the paper and let it absorb into the paper. Now I'm going to add a variety of splatters here in different sizes. So I'm starting off with a really fine brush, and I'm going to add some splatters over top of that packaging technique. Pardon me. And now I'm taking a fan brush, and that's going to add even finer bits. And now I'm taking a thicker brush, and that's going to add some larger splatters. I'll take my Ranger heat tool here and just heat this up. The paper I'm working with here is Vicki Boutin Foundations paper, but you could use any of like the Prism Studio mixed media paper. You could use Ranger heavy stock, like whatever you have. That will take a little bit of water. Now these are rub-ons from the Toddler Time collection from 49 and Market. I love how the Sizzix and 49 and Market releases work so well together. This is the Essentials pack, and I just cut out this one here from this sheet. I actually had 2 packs of these because Sizzix sent me one, but I had also bought one. So I had 2 sets. And here you can just see these other fantastic imagery that are part of these rub-ons that are going to coordinate with Toddler Time so well. So really great. And I am going to just show you how I'm going to use these pieces over top of this background that I have going on here. You can see how the speckled egg coordinates so nicely with that teal that's part of Toddler Time. I'm just going to take a plastic stick here and rub this over top of the bottom right corner. And you can just see how that just goes on there and adds that little bit of text and that little bit of what looks like more watermarking or ink marking. And I'm going to take the coordinating piece and just add it to the top left-hand corner. If you don't have two sets of these rub-ons, you could split this rub-on and just do a little bit of it in the bottom corner and a little bit more of it in the top corner and use the same piece for the entire card. So now that we've got that on there, you can just see I've got a little bit left here. I'm going to break up this little blobby area over to the left a little bit by adding a few more of those little spots. Now I've die cut 2 wedges the same size from that. This is from the Build a Burst Artsy Lace Mix. And I am going to take 2 coordinating stamps from that set and stamp them onto these wedges. I've just put them into my Misti. I do have one of the waffle flower grip mats in my Misti. And I'm just going to stamp out one of these wedges onto that piece there that's on the right. Just use my sleeve to get some good pressure there. I think I do ink that up again a few subsequent times here just to make sure that I get a really nice solid transfer of ink. And there you can just see that. I'm going to add that on there. And now I'm going to use some Salvaged Patina Distress Oxide ink for the other one. There's that ink pad that I'm going to be using. I do like the Oxide inks for stamping these out just because it's quite a nice solid opaque ink and it's going to work really well for stamping this. So I'm going to get those stamped out a few times and make sure I get it doesn't have to be totally opaque. It doesn't have to be totally solid. This is kind of more of a grungy distress look. So if there are some areas that are stamped more clearly than others, it's totally fine. I wanted to show this. This is one of the cloths that Cassandra makes and sells at the store. They're so good. I love to use them for cleaning my stamps, and then I just wash them up when they start to get dirty. And she sells them in little sets so that you also get a flower sackcloth as well. So those are really great. Check those out at the store. Cassandra makes those and sells them at the store, which I think is great. Now, this is another set of stamps. This is still from the Build a Burst Artsy Lace Mix. And these 2 stamps here have text on them. I love that there's that variation where you get the text, because who doesn't love a good text stamp? And I am going to be using some Distress Oxide again, but this time Uncharted Mariner, which I think might be my favorite distress color. And I love that it's just this really nice dark blue. I'm going to get that inked over top of these other colors here. And now I'm just going to take the pad and I'm just going to add ink around the edges. And that's just going to define the edges of these pieces a little bit more. You would not have to do this, but I just kind of liked that look. You could even distress the edges of this paper with your paper distressing tool, or leave them more clean looking like I have here, whatever you would like to do. And whatever look you're going for. So I'll just finish that, getting that on there. I do actually end up using my heat tool to dry these pieces a little bit, just because that Distress Oxide ink does stay wet for a little bit longer. So now that I've got those dried and they're set off to the side there, I'm going to start to assemble my card. So I'm just using my Misti glue press here, which is an amazing tool. I think it was mentioned those will be back in stock this spring because I don't think they ship in the wintertime. So watch for that, and you can always click notify me on the website so that you can be notified when that comes back into stock. But the Misti glue press is a wonderful little tool. I love mine. So I've just got some on the back of our card front here. I'm going to go ahead and glue that onto a A2 size top folding note card. And now I'm going to get that wedge, this one here with the Salvaged Patina, glued over to the left. And I am using the card that I made originally as a guide here, just so that I can kind of basically make it in the same design as the original one here. And I'm just putting a little bit of foam adhesive on this second one just to bump it up and give it a little more definition from the one that's already on there. Now I've die cut 2 of those gorgeous fine stems, and I'm going to pop those up on some, this is Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L Squares. I know that they do carry these in the store. They are wonderful foam squares, and I love that you can cut them into any size that you want. You can get these in these smaller sizes, but they do have the foam squares in the larger sizes as well. So I love that the Paper and Ink Boutique has you covered for all the different adhesives that they have in the shop. Now I am going to take the release paper off the back of all of these different little foam bits and get these gorgeous, delicate looking die cuts placed on the front of my card. I love that white on white. I think it's so pretty. This piece here that I'm using as my sentiment is actually one of the laser cut pieces from Toddler Time. So it's in the laser cut set. And on my original card on the left, I actually took it to the sewing machine and added a couple of lines of sewing. I didn't do that to this one, but I am going to add just some white thread. I just clumped it up behind there, and that just adds a little bit of texture to your project. I like that look. I think it just gives it, again, a clean but yet textured look. I'm going to add that with some foam adhesive there onto that little spot. And I also am going to add one of the Bubbles and Baubles. I love the Bubbles and Baubles from 49 and Market. They're always so good. And this again is from Toddler Time. I'm going to grab one of these little blue hearts. I wish they also sold sheets that are all the hearts because I love those. They're so cute, and they're just these really gorgeous little epoxy stickers. So I'm just going to place that little heart. Now I have a white medium over to the side here. You can use your Spellbinders white splatter. You could use a white paint, whatever you'd like to use for your white splatter. I'm going to just add a little bit of water to that so that it will splatter for me, and I'm going to add that to a fan brush, and you'll see that I will go back and add more water and just get it to the right consistency so that it will actually splatter onto my paper. I will shield my desk, my camera, my expensive equipment a little bit from that white splatter going all over the place. And I am going to finish up that as the last step of my process here today, friends. I am going to make sure that there are links in the description box below to the different products in the shop that I have used today. I love this. I love the collaboration between Sizzix and 49. I think it's genius, and I had so much fun making this for you. I hope you were inspired, and I will see you again, friends. I'm just going to give this a really, really quick dry, and my card is going to be finished up. Have an amazing day. I hope you stay well, stay inspired, and keep on crafting. Have a wonderful day, friends. Bye-bye.